Good morning, everybody. I'm not Lloyd Evans. Coming live from the bunker. According to what we've recently seen, he will no longer be coming live from the bunker either. There's a whole load of parallels and metaphors that you could get out of this, like is it art imitating life or life imitating art? But hey, we'll come back to that a bit later on. But I don't know if you've seen it, obviously, but obviously there was a recent video put up by Lloyd Evans showing the extent of the darkness that is enveloping the bunker. I think it's been going for a hell of a long time, to be honest with you, but there's a darkness enveloping the bunker. And I thought, I've never seen darkness creep up so quickly. And I had to go back, sorry, but I actually had to go back to try and find out, how long when this all started off. And I was a bit shocked because it's only been a few years and I've never seen dampness take hold so quickly. I was absolutely stunned because it was only a few years ago. I had to go back, just a short period of time. And there was a video that he put up of him, a sort of a fast camera video, and it shows these guys. You're gonna have to forgive me if for anybody who needs to get honey lemon. I don't. It's definitely the effects of the second COVID I had, so it's not good news. So, but when you see these dudes here, as you can see there, they're just putting up. To me, it looks like plasterboard, and they're putting it directly on the wall. Now, yeah, just directly onto the wall. It appears, and. I'm obviously I'm no builder, but the house that I live at the moment, plasterboard's fixed against. You put up lots of wooden boarding for that, and you don't put it directly against a wall. You put the plasterboard against a wooden frame, therefore leaving a little bit of round about that much space for air. Air circulation, so if there is a problem of maybe dampness, it doesn't go straight into the plasterboard. So I don't know who these two clowns were that he got doing this work. Obviously he got them on the cheap. And yeah, it's I've never seen, because when you actually look at if you have a look at this shot here, this is a little bit further on the same video. I'll do a link to the video in case you want to watch it. But that shot there, if you look down at that corner there, right? This is only 3 years ago. Look at that corner there, right? This is obviously before he painted that faraway wall. And if you compare that to this, I'll just make it a bit bigger, no. I won't make it a bit bigger. If you compare it to this picture here, it actually shows the very same corner. If you look at that, which is taking a screenshot of it, look at that, that's the very same corner. Now in 3 years you've gone from, that's awful. That's pretty bad. It might be something to do, like I said, by putting, fixing that straight against the wall, not putting a wooden frame there. But I'm no building expert. But looking at what causes that is obviously a lot of moisture. But the interesting thing is that when you actually go to look at another video that he did not so long ago, called The Bunker Tour. He did a video called The Bunker Tour, and he actually says, if we listen to him here.
Just a little bit of boring technical information for you. You'll see here I have a dehumidifier. This keeps the humidity levels in the bunker constantly below 60%. If not for the dehumidifier, the bunker's humidity would be around 80%, especially in the summer months, which is not good news for all books.
The books
so
and the health.
Very kindly drove all the way from another European country. I'm being careful to protect his identity.
Because he was a pimp?
He drove all the way to my home in Croatia.
It's not your home.
And installed a dehumidifier.
Yes.
And he also installed this air conditioning system, which comes in extremely useful both during the...
Like, fuck off now. So basically, as you can see there, he's obviously got these cowboy buildings to come on, which have been paid by the expense of patrons, because it actually says that on the video. Now, he put up that video, and because that was in 1919, and then only like 2 years ago, he's doing a tour of the bunker, and there's no mould there. So very quickly and spectacularly, you know, within there was no mould within that year. From it getting built until he did that video, and then all of a sudden it's gone really horrible and dark in the bunker. Things have gone a bit off in the bunker. Oh, I'd love to know if this sort of started really, you know, appearing round about the time that he travelled to Thailand. That would be completely ironic. But at the end of the day, it's quite simple. He did have a humidifier put in. But I don't think he fails to mention that in his new thing. And you know, I've never seen. You know, I watch a lot of house programs, but I've never seen mouldy dampness as bad as that. You know, obviously, yes, it's rotten to the core. A bit like Lloyd Evans himself. There's a whole ton of metaphors here that can be applied to what's really gone on. That's something that's been, you know, that on the surface it looks like it's alright, but when you dig a little bit deeper, it is horrible, it's bad, it's just dark and dirty. I'm not talking about the bunker, I'm talking about Lloyd Evans himself. So, yeah, it's absolutely incredible. So apparently he's moving out to the bunker, but the easiest thing to do was, obviously his father-in-law's house, is actually, quite simply, take down all the plasterboard and actually start again, take it all down and start again and do it properly, because if you're going to leave that mess, that is going to continue to keep on rising, because the damp does rise, and then it will go into the next floor. So being a responsible adult that he should be, thinking he's caused a problem, because if you actually see that when the guys were doing the work, there was no dampness there then. When they're just fixing the plasterboard to the wall, there's no signs of, oh, we had a terrible dampness problem. There wasn't. He's caused it by getting his clown of builders in there, and obviously his dehumidifier is not strong enough. You need a big one, and that's totally. So basically, it's been seeping up into the plasterboard, no air to breathe, moisture stayed in there, dehumidifier's not done the job, and now he's just going to leave it. And you know, obviously, I believe his wife and his children still live in there. So basically. Typical Evans, he's not really caring about anybody bar himself, and he's moving on. You know, really being the responsible parent and son-in-law. Sorry, obviously that's a bit silly. He should actually then just go in and we need to just tear it all down. He'd actually tear it all down and do a proper job with what remaining funds he gets from the. Bizarrely, and the figure's gone up a little bit more. It's like 489 patrons who still send this Workshy clown money to, you know, to churn out more content. You know, maybe you should just spend a little bit time, you know, doing a little bit of work. Actually, instead of getting to, you know, actually helping the guys out there, doing a little bit of research himself. You know, actually trying to stop the problem of the dampness in the cellar, which he has obviously caused. But you know, the cynics in us would say the reason why he's moving out of the bunker and not addressing this problem is because obviously he no longer lives in this property anymore, and maybe it's getting too much to travel to go there to do stuff, and maybe his in-laws don't like seeing his little fat face, you know, just going down to the bunker when he should be spending more time with the kids. I don't know. And maybe, you know, he's then moving on to somewhere else, wherever his apartment is in Zagreb, whatever it is. But obviously he's moved out the family home, it's probably getting too difficult, and basically a bit like his own family, he's just leaving it in a bit of a state. So there's metaphors galore here, but anyway, yes, it's official, he's finally moving out the bunker. I wish he'd actually just move out with social media full-time forever. That would be wonderful, because as well as the legacy of the bunker now being stained forever, just like the legacy of Lloyd Evans, it has been stained forever, and there's no peeling away the skin on that thing, because the deeper you get down on that guy, it gets worse and worse and darker, unless and different to dampness, where you can actually just go back and start again. There's no way, there's no reset button with Lloyd Evans. It is what it is. Anyway, that's just my quick take on that, and I have another video coming up very shortly, which I'm going to do right now. So, so 2 today, later this evening. Oh, you're so lucky. Anyway, bye bye.